Hello folks and welcome back to Shogun Total War. I am Kanastep and this is going to be part 5 of my 1530 campaign where I'm playing as Clan Shimazu. And booting up a campaign of this really does feel like taking a nice cold sip of fresh water, just because it's such a palate cleanser after coming from medieval where the map is so busy and there's so much going on and so much to keep track of, and coming into this campaign it's just like, this is the game where I know everything. And everything makes sense, and things don't scare me as much as they do in medieval, because yeah, medieval still, it's like the Wild West, you know. And then this campaign is like my hometown. For instance, there's certain things that I've had to learn the hard way, right? Things that may have caused me to scream or cry or pee my pants, like opening up an error status page, knowing that you have errors, and finding it blank and realizing, oh my god, 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 oh my god. See, this doesn't scare me anymore. Now I know what the solution is. If you ever go into your other tabs, maybe your spies, or maybe your army list, you just have to scroll to the top. For some reason, these lists interact with one another. And if you scroll to the bottom of your list in one of these other pages, it will have the same effect on your heirs status. Even though you would never have enough heirs to ever have to scroll here, they will just disappear. Luckily, when I first noticed this, I did not have any of those extreme reactions that I just listed. No, not I. I handled myself like a rational adult. And I took a deep breath, and I figured it out with, yeah, no crying. At least not on camera, but in any case, that's an example of things, of ways that this campaign feels familiar to me. You know, there's things like that that had to be found out the hard way. Now, as far as this campaign goes, I have, as you probably know by now, it's been a pretty slow start after taking Kyushu. I'm setting my sights now on the island of Shikoku. Tosa itself has a pretty considerable defense. It only does have a 1-star general, and other than its units itself, which are mostly Ashigaru, there's an archer or two, and there's a couple Yari samurai as well, and there's a handful of them. On sheer size alone, it's a decent army, but it is a little disappointing that we're not seeing any Nodachi samurai, because that is a thing that is, you know, found in the Sengoku Jedi campaign. It's interesting, you know, the two campaigns starting in the same year. I really did think that a lot of these things were going to be kept the same, but apparently not, you know, apparently not. So I will be setting my sights here on Shikoku relatively soon. Actually, now that I think of it, I suppose this 3-star general will be retreating to Tosa, and then I will face him there. But still, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I still probably want at least one more year to get armies ready to go for this. And I know, if you look at this, it seems like it's plenty enough to get the job done. I just like playing with my army comps that I like to use. And I like to have the one that I will be using to attack Tosa, but then I also need something just to hold on to Io, just in case anything tries to sneak in through the back door through Sanuki and Awa. And once that's all set and ready to go, I will be able to sweep on through the island of Shikoku and then press on into Bison, and I can essentially pinch off this southern portion of why am I forgetting the name of this island? Oh my god, Honshu? Why did I just blank on the main island of Japan? Oh dear. Oh dear. As I was just saying that I know everything about this campaign, I can't remember my geography. Well, yeah, that's really slipped in my mind right now. I'm going to try to not get stuck on that. But at that point, I will be able to pinch this off, and that sounds really bad, but then I would be able to attack these Takeda contingents from the north and the south. They have Bungo, and then this is Rebel held. They don't have any forces in Aki, but then they have some forces in Awami and Seoul, including Takeda Shingen himself. At least I'm not forgetting his name. Yeah, he's hanging out here with his glorious 6 stars. The armies themselves are not too considerable. Archers and spears in this army, and then this is all archers, and then 1 unit of cav archers with some armor upgrades, mind you. So like that's something, but still, I think that my forces will be able to split off and take Seoul and Iwami when the time comes. That is, and it's unfortunate as well that these rebel armies, this all archers, like that's gonna be fun, not, and then this army all spears, which is just like, oh dear. Okay, fine. But I'm getting there. I'm training most of my soldiers at this point here in Nagato. This is a province that I've kind of broken my rule where I typically will just specialize every single province in producing one type of soldier. But because Nagato has my only iron sands deposits, and because I know I'm about to get like 7 more of these provinces once I take this section, how much do we have here? This has iron sands 2, and then I don't think this does. Nope, I'm wrong. This does. Aki does 3, 4, 5, 6. Not this one. Yep. 7. Not that. 8. Nope. Nope. So yeah, 8. There's 8 more provinces after Nagato that have iron sands deposits, which is such an abundance. That's really unnecessary. But I'll use at least a few of them, right? For the time being, though, I'm kind of going all in on having an archery dojo, a spear dojo, and I am working on a horse dojo here as well, just so I can get some yard cav, and maybe even cav archers. Nah, not cav archers, but some yard cav I will be able to train up here in Nagato fairly soon. Right now, I'm getting cav going here in Satsuma just because this is the province that can train cavalry for me. And I have enough Nodachi Samurai for now. I just need more spearmen here in Bungo and some more cav, and then I'll be ready to go. I'm getting guns going as well. My arquebusiers are being trained up in a few provinces, which feels nice. And then I'm just going full on in with my my Jesuit priests, which will be essentially replacing my emissaries, because they can be used as emissaries. They can actually talk as delegates with other factions, and then they will also be spreading Christianity. Now, regarding their usefulness as emissaries, you know, as delegates, because we are now Christian, I know it's my understanding that Christian factions don't deal well with Buddhist factions. And in these campaigns that start off at an early start point, like the 1530, the Sengoku Jedi, it's not often that you're going to run into other AI factions that convert to Christianity. Now, it's my understanding that does change in the 1550 and certainly the 1580 campaigns, where actually some factions will just start off as Christian. And then I think the Jesuit priests become more useful because you will have factions that are more likely to deal with you. However, it's my understanding that, you know, Buddhist factions and possibly vice versa will just straight up kill your priest if you try to talk to them and maybe get a ceasefire or something. They'll just kill your priest. Now, if that's a guaranteed thing, or if that's just a, you know, it's more likely to happen kind of thing, I don't know. I haven't experimented with that a lot. Typically, when I get to that point of the campaign, I'm usually just killing people and not really talking to them. But the few times I have tried to use a priest at that stage, I feel like it hasn't really gone well. But yeah, anyway, that's just going to be something worth keeping an eye on. And yeah, I have emissaries. So if I need them, I can still use emissaries to also talk to people. The primary thing with them is that they spread Buddhism, whereas the priests will obviously spread Christianity. And I don't want to really counteract the work that I'm doing here. It's not going to be too big of a deal. I think that my shinobi is going to be plenty enough to keep my population, subdued and happy. But, you know, I don't want to counteract the work of my Jesuit priests too much here. Other than that, yeah, we're halfway through the year as far as money goes, and I think that I'm not really... So, in Satsuma, I am building the Citadel. I think I have 6 turns left before this is finished. This is my 4th tier and the last tier of the castles, and this is going to allow me to build a cathedral, which will allow me to make money off of all of the churches I built. I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I built all of these churches, not realizing, like, oh shit, I need the Citadel so I can get the cathedral. And that's going to allow me to start making money off of all of these churches. But hey, once that happens, it's going to be a lot. I'm already making almost $5,000. I'm making $4,600 a year, which is nice. That's really good. And Other than that, yeah, I think I don't really need to put a lot of effort into construction at this point. As I was mentioning at the end of my last episode, because I'd spent so much money on my infrastructure, I had somewhat neglected my military, and now I'm spending this time on working on that to get them ready to go for this oncoming campaign into southern Honshu, right? Why does that not sound right? Honshu? God damn it. I should just pause this video and look it up, but I don't. I'm not feeling like it right now. I just want to keep playing the game. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna kind of go through the next few turns at least. I do have a few sons I need to keep an eye on. Shimazu Yoshihisa is 2 years away before he becomes of age, and then Shimazu Yoshihiro is 2 years behind him, and then Shimazu Norihisa is just 3 years behind. So they're all going to be coming up relatively soon here, and that's going to give me a really good base of generals to be leading my oncoming assaults. I ended up skipping a little further ahead than I intended because now I can finally build the cathedral. So yeah, here it is. 6 seasons, 1000 koku. It's going to be, that's a steal. That's so worth it. Only a Christian daimyo who has at least 6 churches in his domain can build a cathedral. The cathedral speeds up the spread of Christianity and receives tithes from all the churches in Japan. That's all of them, not just the ones that I build. So if there were other Christian factions, I would be collecting money from them as well. This gives an annual income. It also allows spying wherever there's a church or a priest. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, cool. And upgrades to Portuguese trading posts to be able to produce musketeers. So yeah, in 6 turns, I'll be able to just go straight to the good guns. So yeah, let's get that going right away. I think I'm still building... No, okay, so sweet. So the Citadel has been finished here in Osumi as well. Because yeah, I'm working on getting the geishas. So I want to keep going with this. Let's get the infamous ninja house. That's going to give me ninjas with +1 honor. Go on there. And I think my forces in Bungo are pretty much ready to go. Yeah, I think they can attack next turn. Yeah, that's going to be good. And we can just go right on into EO, I think we're gonna be, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just go next turn. Not now. It's winter. I don't want to fight in winter. And then yeah, Nagato's just gonna chill out. We're just gonna keep yeah, we're training archers. We can train at Naginata. This is gonna be important. Later on. I wanted to get, so I just got the famous spear dojo. It's gonna give +1 honor to the spear units that are trained here, but then it also allows me to train Naginata infantry as long as I do have the iron sands deposits. And these guys, let me talk about these guys. These guys are tanks, Naginata. So these samurai foot soldiers are equipped with heavy armor and Naginata, which are short pole arms. They are very strong defensively, but a little slow. Use them to resist enemy shock troops. Now, what's unfortunate about the Naginata troops, or at least the infantry in this game, is that the they're called Naginata, right? So you might be thinking like, you know, they should be getting a weapon bonus from that weapon itself. And for those of you who don't know what a Naginata is, it's right there in the picture, right? It's like a Japanese version of a halberd. And if you don't know what a halberd is like a European version of a spear with an axe head attached to it. It has the purpose of being able to chop through armor, and it can also, you know, stab things and keep things at a distance, right? It's a very useful multi-purpose weapon. In addition to that, it also is kind of designed to be able to pull mounted, you know, cavalry people down off their horses. So the halberd is very useful in Europe. In Japan, the Naginata, around this time, it's my understanding that it was starting to get phased out in favor of the more simple spear, which could be trained in mass, because that's something that happens during, you know, this period of Japan. And keep in mind, you know, this is sort of like the late Middle Ages, right? 1530, you know, like this is like into the Renaissance period in medieval Europe, I believe. I don't know a lot about medieval Europe or this time period to be fair, but yeah, it's my understanding that they were kind of moving more towards the massed, like pre-modern sorts of like civilian armies, like well trained but like peasants basically. So they, you know, if you give them all one weapon type and really train them how to use that weapon type, and then use different, you know, types of units in conjunction to support each other. And that was sort of like the basics of like pre-modern warfare, right? When you can have, units with all spears that know how to use those spears very well together, being supported by units with like bows and then units with guns. And that was how warfare was during most of the, mid to late part of the Sengoku Jidai. And the emphasis on like these types of weapons like Naginata started to go away is my understanding of things. But as far as this game is concerned, the Naginata does not confer any weapon bonus itself. You don't get plus anything versus armor. You don't get plus anything versus cavalry. It's just that the unit itself has a lot of armor. It's heavily armored. It's a tank. It can withstand a lot of arrow fire, especially. They also have pretty high morale and they have pretty high defense. So if you want to attribute anything to the weapon itself, you can say that the Naginata allows them to defend themselves better. Okay, maybe it does. I don't know. I've never used a Naginata before. This is a unit that I used to, in the first, like 500 hours of me playing this game, I kept it as a unit that I would only use for certain factions, as my unit restrictions go. I would reserve it for like the Mori and the Yoda, and I think that was it. Maybe the Hojo, depending on how I was feeling. Now I'm still in that camp. I still would like to rather reserve it for other factions, but the fact that it is sort of this niche tank unit does make it very useful for river battles. And because I've fought so many of these fucking river battles, this is the unit that you're supposed to be using to bridge bait. Sure, you can use Ashigaru because they're cheap. Sure, you can use Yari Samurai because they're a middle ground between Naginata and Ashigaru by having slightly better armor than Ashigaru. What you should be doing is using Naginata. Their armor just makes it so that they will be taking way less damage from archer fire, and then you tech them up and give them even better armor, and it just makes it a lot easier to accomplish the river battles the way that I fight them, using the bridge baiting tactics. They can also be useful in sieges as a unit that sort of soaks up some of the arrow fire as the army closes the distance to the castle itself. They're not really good at killing at all. In fact, you should never think that you can replace the spearmen in your army with Naginata. You always are going to need spearmen to be able to still kill horses. Always, always, always. You need spearmen. These guys, yes, they can hold the line better than spears, technically. But the fact that spears can still fight in two ranks, the fact that they can kill horses very well, you still want spears. These Naginata, the thing with them is that they will still lose battles to warrior monks, and they will still lose battles to, I believe, Nodachi Samurai. I'm not positive on that, but that would be a bloody battle. And I believe they lose battles to Naginata cavalry as well, which is a really, just a mincer of a unit. The thing with them is they lose slower, which, it's not, when you say it that way, it's like, oh, geez. No, they hold the line, but they will lose these fights against other elite units. So you're still going to need units to kill. You need a plan for that. When I use my Oda armies, the plan is, let's use guns. I like using guns, they're fun. When I use my Mori armies, I like to use warrior monks in conjunction with the Naginata. As I'm playing the Shimazu, I will just be using this as a niche unit to help me in bridge battles and siege assaults, and that's it. That's all that they're going to be used for. So, say bye-bye to the Naginata. You will not be seeing them very often in this campaign unless I just end up having to fight the same bridge battles over and over again. I'm looking at this like one unit in BitChute, and I'm like, all right, yeah. Like, I'm just going to push them out, make them retreat, not have to fight it. That's the key, right? If you just assault with overwhelming force, they will not stand and fight you. Same thing with this one Ashigaru and Awa. I attack Awa with a full stack, it should retreat. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Looks like I'm going to have to fight for Kawachi. And it looks like they have 8 fucking archers in Kawachi. So, that's going to be fun. Oh, hey, and check out Yusugi Kenshin, the other 6-star general of this campaign that starts off as an heir who's 6 stars. yeah, he's obviously really good, but unfortunately, unlike his historical rival Takeda Shingen, who's in an archer unit, Yusuke Kenshin is in a unit of Ashigaru, and that is just so sad. At least he has an armor upgrade. But yeah, seeing him in a unit of Ashigaru is just like, oh, poor guy. That's one thing that Medieval Total War does very well. Much better. Is just giving every royal unit a unit of heavy cav bodyguards, and then making that unit a useful unit by making it be a 20-man unit, right? Whereas the daimyo's unit in this game, it's only 10 men, 11 total with the daimyo himself. It's, you know, it can be useful in the early game, right? When you don't have any other cavalry, but then it just becomes a wasted slot at a certain point, and it will get to a certain point when I would rather just have my heirs and their cav archer units leading my armies instead of my daimyo with his, 10 heavy cav bodyguard guys who are just useless at that point. Like, they're not going to do anything at that point. And I don't want them to do anything. You might get killed. So it's just so sad seeing a Ashigaru unit. But yeah, this is so looking at the throne room map, which I'm not going to try to show you, but this is what we're looking at. The Oda have a few territories here, but they are battling hard with the rebels. Like, the rebels are putting up a fight for Issa, Yamashiro. The fact that they've taken Omi, Mino and Echizen is, but they're getting beat up. Like, these guys, yeah, they're scrapping hard. And what's tough about this is that the Yasugi clan, they are looking tough. Like, the Hojo still just have Sagami, and that's all they have. Takeda have, these like provinces, Kai, Izu, Suruga, maybe Totomi, I'm not sure. And then Yasugi have everything else, pretty much. But they might be missing like one territory. I don't think they've taken Kazusa yet, but Kazusa is pretty worthless. But they look like they're going to be the faction that's going to be the final showdown, which is dangerous because they are teching up. That's in their hard coding of other strategy. Their clan strategies that they do like to tech up. And you can see that they already do have Naginata cavalry with weapon upgrades. These are good cavalry. They're good at killing. They're really good at killing infantry. So they're slow though. They're slow. And they're not as heavily armored as heavy cav, but they're still, they're good. Naginata cav are a very solid unit. And the fact that they are already, training them it says something. That also reminds me that that's the faction that I have to be afraid of when it comes to ninjas and geishas. So I will be getting that infamous ninja house going here. And I think, like I was saying before, I think I am ready to attack Io and Shikoku in the next turn. Now Shimazu Yoshihisa has finally come of age, and yes, it's time to get him in the right unit, so I will be training this unit of cav archers here. And now it's time to attack. Yeah, without further ado, let's get Shimazu Yoshimoto some game time action, some real battle time. So how old is he? He's 33? Man, he grew up so fast. How old is the daimyo? 35. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. I guess I don't know how that works. 35. Okay. Well, let's send his eldest son into battle here. Give him some action. And his armies are ready to go, even though, I will be relying on Ashigaru as my spearmen and the basic arquebusiers as my guns. I still think that's going to be plenty enough to get the job done here in Shikoku, just in general. Let's send in my reserve stack as well. And then since I realized I needed some more horses, I have some more units on the way as well. Some cavalry and, yeah, guns just kind of hanging out. Yeah, they can just hang out in the back. That's fine. Let's make sure, do I have any border forts here? No, I do not. This shinobi can come in afterwards. I think that my heir will be safe for one turn. And let's start bringing these guys up as well, because I'm going to need more shinobi to secure these territories once I've taken them. As expected, the rebel generals have retreated from Io, and I'll be having to get a fight here in Tosa. So yes, my son has come of age, Shimazu Yoshihisa. Yeah, let's take a look at him in a second here. And yeah, 4 stars, that's what I thought. Yeah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Good stuff. Where do I want him? Up here, perhaps? Maybe, yeah, bring him up with Dad. Because when we do break out of Nagato, it will be a 2 province at a time kind of assault. Someone has to take Seoul, someone has to take Awami, and then 2 more armies will march side by side down this southern part of the peninsula of Honshu. I did look it up. I had to. It's Honshu. I don't know why that didn't sound right in my brain. And my brain was just playing tricks on me. So yeah, they can march side by side down through the southern portion of Honshu. And we're gonna get another one coming up pretty soon here. Just 2 more years, and Shimazu Yoshihiro is gonna be here as well. And I think he is also a 4-star general, I think. So let's just go right on in with Yoshimoto, yeah, and attack Tosa. I mean, Tosa has a lot here, and yeah, with that 3-star general Kono Yoshitsugu, he will make a difference. But man, the troops are just really not much. You know, let's see, a total of 1, 2, 3 archers. That's it, and the rest are spears. And how many Yari spearmen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, there's 5 units of Yari spears, and the rest is Ashigaru. Now, the good thing with Ashigaru is that when they do break and run away, the samurai units don't really care. So running Ashigaru is not going to affect the morale of a samurai unit. So by breaking all of these Ashigaru, I'm not necessarily going to break the professionals themselves, but that's still a lot of Ashigaru. So like, I can break them, you know, and I'm bringing guns. So as long as I get the right weather for it, this should be fine. Now, if I do not get the right weather for it, do I want to bring other units as backup just in case? Because if I have to withdraw from Tosa, let's say it's summertime, and if I have to withdraw from Tosa because I can't get good weather, what the heck? I don't want to overthink it. Let's just do it, and we'll go from there. One of my favorite things with this game is the daimyo personalities for the other clans led by the AI. This is hard-coded in. This actually does represent the strategies that these certain factions like to use, and this is based on historical preferences by certain, people themselves. So in this case, for like Oda Nobuhide, this daimyo is patient, persistent, and relentless. He is not fond of diplomacy, preferring to slowly and systematically crush all opposition. If you win against him, he will fall back, regenerate, and attack again. He prefers to use heavily armored and well-trained troops, which may give highly mobile forces an advantage against him, a most dangerous foe. Isn't that neat? It kind of, talks about his background, but it also kind of talks about the psychology of how he plays, the troop type, but also how to beat him, which is really interesting. And if we go up here and look at Yusugi Tomoki, who's 58, holy shit, he's getting old. Yeah, new methods, new technology, and new approaches to old problems are this daimyo's strength. They are also possibly his weakness, as he tends to put much effort into development at the expense of troop numbers. A quick attack may catch him outnumbered, but eventually his troops will be so superior that numbers mean nothing. What a warning. What a warning. Yeah, I think that's really neat. I'm glad that they put that into this game, and I'll try to keep bringing those up when I find new factions. It's too bad that the Imagawa already gone before I had a chance to read his, and hopefully I'm able to find the Takeda and the Hojo before they're gone as well. But in any case, I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's get a fight in here in Tosa. So yeah, I think everything is good to go. And just double check. Troops, buildings, troops, priests. And yeah, I don't need any more shinobi. That's fine enough for now. Let's drop a save and let's get into a fight here. The infamous ninja house is now finished here in Osumi. And now I can start working on the infamous tea house, I believe. Surprisingly, there's still no wars between any of the other clans right now. Like why? Like no one's taken out the Hojo for some reason, even though they only have one province. All right, here we go. We are outnumbered by a bit, but it's not insurmountable, I don't think. So let's get into it. I do not want light rain. Let's wait. Nope. And I don't want heavy rain either. Nope. I do not want rain at all. Fine day, thank God. I was gonna withdraw. I was like, no, I brought guns, I want to use guns. Alright, here's Tosa, and man, I have, like, despite how often I lose in this province, I have really fond memories of Tosa. I remember booting this game back up like years before I started this channel. I did, and this is going to be like a mild confession here, I did boot at this game and maybe put like an hour or two into it, just to, you know, try to get into video gaming. And this is before I was like really ready to make the commitment into getting back into gaming after like taking 15 years off. And I was poking around into this. I knew I'd been watching, you know, Total War on YouTube for years, and I knew I wanted to get into this series. But when I first booted this game up and I was poking around in it, this is one of the first battles that I fought playing as the Shimazu, and I discovered the Tosa Rebels, which is quite the wake-up call for someone who you know hadn't played video games, not to mention like Total War in 15 years, right? Or you know, I'd never played Total War at that point. But what happens in this province, there's multiple reasons why it's so difficult to attack. To your right is two forests that are essentially divided by this little picket line here, and typically the enemy will be here. Now there's a hill in front of you as well. Sometimes they just go up there and they take the hill. Smart position, but even if you take the hill yourself, trying to get them to come out of the forest and fight you can be very difficult. And however, if they do take the hill and then you try to march through the forest, the problem is that if they charge off that hill before you've cleared the forest, you can't shoot at them. And I'm talking about an army that typically has many units of Nodachi Samurai, many of them. It's a terrifying thing. In my first battle, I remember just kind of like nonchalantly just kind of like marching up the middle, because again, this was like one of my first battles ever in Total War. And I don't know if I was, maybe I thought I was being tricky, and maybe I was like moving through the forest because I thought I was being smart. But whatever happened to me, it ended quickly. It was like just seeing the red uniforms of the Nodachi Samurai coming out of the forest, like it was terrifying. You know, and their war cries, like, oh my God, it was just, you know, that taught me a lesson. And I mean, I want to say it taught me a lesson. I never learned that lesson. I don't know. I don't know how to win this battle, that first battle against the rebels in Tosa. I think I still lose every time, the first time, you know, I'll wear them down using my economics. But for that first battle, I think I'll get my ass kicked every single time. For this battle, since we're not talking about facing off against Nodachi Samurai, I wonder if they would just take the hill, would be my guess. I guess I'll have to get my troops formed up and we will get ready to go here. Right off the bat, there is no view of the enemy, so I'm guessing they are going to be in the forest. Let's get my guys grouped up here. Let's do you. And for those of you who have watched my Shimazu army comp video, this is going to be the army that's going to be very familiar to you. Let's do, actually, yeah, prefer that. So yeah, for those of you who have not watched the video, I suggest you give it a watch. But what I like to play with for my Shimazu forces is having a soft center held by guns and archers. Guns in the forward position, and then archers in the back. Archers are capable in melee, and they can hold the line for a short period of time. You know, it's not ever ideal to have your archers be fighting, but then I finally realized, you know what, they actually, you know, they kind of can do the job. And it's like a false bait for the enemy. You know, they don't want to get shot by these guns, and they want to shut down your archers. Well, fine, do it. Attack my center. Look at what awaits you on the flanks. Spearmen can screen off enemy cav and or missile units to give my Nodachi Samurai a clear path into flanking into the center from either side, and my Yari cav can also support the center itself or the flanks, whatever, you know, they need to be doing. But if the cavalry does crash my center, which there is no enemy cav in this match, Yari cav can face off and again, you know, either win or just hold off for a while and just keep the center, you know, held together before my flanks can kind of get the job done. If they do decide to ignore my center and attack my flanks, well, fine. You're just going to get shot. Guns, archers, it's going to do the job. For factions, it's important, and I know this is like a really cliche thing to say, but play to your strengths. If you're only bringing a 3 cavalry contingent, or a 3 unit cavalry contingent, then don't be aggressive with your cavalry contingent. Now, I'm not saying don't use your Yari Cav to scout. Sure, go for it. Go see where the enemy is, but don't try to make plays. Don't try to dive the backfield. Don't do any of that stuff. If you're playing on a defensive or on a disadvantage with your cavalry, then when you're getting closer to the time to actually, you know, have an engagement with the enemy army, then bring your cav back to your lines and have them play defensively. Have them intercept other units of cav close to your lines so that you can then misclick there, but so that you can get that supported by your infantry, you know, spears, nodachi, guns, archers, whatever. Take those cav fights closer to your lines so they're getting support. And that's how you can use your cav as a unit that basically just kind of plugs gaps and supports flanks. And if a flank opens up, then you use it offensively. If, for instance, they just completely ignore one flank, you know, they don't bring any cav over, and you have complete rain, fine, go for it. Then attack their archers, attack their rear, you know, with flanking attacks and what have you. But before that, if you want to play offensively when you're at a disadvantage, that's how you lose battles. And this applies to all types of units, right? If you're at a disadvantage on your skirmishers, then don't stand back and skirmish. Attack. You have to. Use your skirmishers to screen your army. And that's kind of it. Use them as a screen. Infantry, you know, it's if you have a disadvantage as an infantry, then yeah, you might have to gain. Hopefully you have an advantage somewhere, right? You can't just have a disadvantage everywhere and then expect to win. And so, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm not seeing the enemies so far. Yeah, I'm wondering where these guys are. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute and focus. Oh, no, hey, okay, here we are. So they are on the backside. That's an interesting spot. See, I'm telling you. You know, I take 6 months off from playing this game and the whole thing changes. Nothing's the same anymore. I don't know anything. So, yeah, no one's in the forest. Interesting. So they're kind of on the back side of like this hill, which is interesting. You guys can kind of stop, like come over here would be fine, I think. And then if we want to get our guys up, I don't want to be attacked before I'm in position. So let's get my left flank to stop moving forward as quickly. And we can make sure that we're in the right formation if the enemy decides to attack us. Based on what I'm seeing, that the enemy has deployed their better units, their Yari Samurai, ahead of mine. Ahead of, like, basically, you know, on the top of the ridge. And that's smart. They're kind of using what's it called? A delayed flank? That's not the right word. Refused flank, yeah. Which is where you want to be attacking with your better units and trying to delay an attack with your worse units, right? And that way, if you have to ignore their weak flank, that flank can essentially wrap around you eventually. And they are deployed in a long, thin line, so they technically good to be doing that, but let's try to move up. I like to have my flanks a little bit ahead of my center in this formation. Now, I'm not as practiced with using arquebusiers. When I practice this army comp all over and over and over again in my custom battles, I'm usually using musketeers, to be honest. And they do have longer range. Therefore, I might be a little bit off in my usage of this army. So let's try to compensate for the reduced range of these guns by getting a little bit closer here. And looks like they are pulling back with their Ashigaru. and their Yari samurai appear to be moving forward. Okay. That looks good to me. And let's get... Yeah, Yari Cav, they don't really have a home right now. And because there's just so many spears on the enemy army, it's important not to get too greedy here. So let's get in here. And you can help out against these Yari Samurai. Nodachi Samurai should, with their high charge and high attack, should really help out. Guns are now firing in to the center. And let's get this up here. And they're going to be attacking here as well. So let's get moved up right there. And they're bringing in their Ashigaru to threaten my Yari Cav. So let's bring my Yari Cav back. And then let's get center here. So now you can attack into here. Into the flank. And then you can attack into the flank as well. And that should be good. There we go. Oop, guys, get away, get away, get away, please. Please get away. Please start running. And then, yep, let's get you guys turned around, and then let's see, they're winning. Okay, wow, let's get you guys charging into the rear of these spears, and here, man, they're doing a lot of damage against me. Jesus. Yeah, they're Yari. Oh man, these guys are chasing me as well. Let's get my guns turned around. Oops, not you guys. Maybe if we sandwich this spears from both sides. Yeah, that's not ideal. And yeah, it looks like just their extreme numbers are actually driving me back. Oh, God. Oh, no, I'm going to lose in Tosa again every single time. Every single... Oh, looks like they are running away. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Let's get you guys chasing here and you guys chasing here. Yep, you go, and then spears. Yep, you go chase here as well. And yeah, looks like my guys actually did hold. Oh, thank God. Now, there's going to be another wave coming on, so I do have to be ready for that, but I can send my Yari Cav, and even my general. Let's get you thrown in here as well. And let's try to run down as many of these guys as we possibly can, so that we won't have to face them. And also, while that's happening, let's see. Okay, so yeah, the general is trying to rally his forces here, so let's not get my spears caught by... Nah, okay, they did break. Thank goodness. Alright, sweet. Yeah, some of these units are trying to rally, so I need to make sure I don't get my spears caught by units that have rallied. That's gonna be a bad fight for me. Like, these Yari Samurai, are they gonna... Nope, they're running away. Okay. Yeah, let's keep my forces moving up here just to support my cavalry. You go here, you go here, and then you go here, and this is my general fighting. So let's get my general back, actually. I'm afraid of losing him. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, sweet. The enemy general has been killed, and that's a big blow. Not just on morale, but that is going to be taking that 3-star command bonus that this army was enjoying the benefits of. And now any reinforcements that I have to fight will not be getting that. So let's keep chasing here as much as we can. And even though, yeah, my army definitely took a lot of casualties in that one, but yeah, I think that any reinforcements that come on should be dealt with. I think by my forces, by what's left of my guys. And that was it. The reinforcements decided they did not want to fight, and that ended up being okay. A little bit dicey there for a second, wasn't it? Yeah, guys seemed like they were kind of running away. I did lose 312 guys, and I killed 692. This unit of Yari Cav got 100, or got 1 honor, got 137 kills. This Yari Cav, yeah, 202 kills, 1 point of honor. Nodachi Samurai, yeah, they got a lot of kills, 57, 1 point of honor. How do the guns do? Not too well. 6 kills on these guns, and then 12 kills on them. But for them, a lot of it's just going to be the morale damage they do, and I think it's like -6 morale. So now that I threw my heir into combat and he lost 11 men in his unit, like I was thinking about that, and I'm like, God, you better not die. I'd be so sad if you died. Oh man. All right, so we did pillage some money from Tosa. That feels good. And now my clan is the most advanced in all of Japan. All right, that's pretty sweet. All right, please don't be dead. Please don't be dead. All right, thank God he's not dead. Yoshimoto is still alive. Oh, thank God. I was actually really nervous about that. How long is this going to take? 2 turns before this castle falls to me. And this is a large castle, so even if I let this fall through a siege, it is going to still just be a basic castle once it's done. And we do have a spear dojo here as well. I don't think it's worth attacking this. I think, I mean, it is just basically the 1 unit of archers. And I do have 3 relatively healthy units of archers. And then I have my 2 units of guns as well. So I can do a lot of damage with my ranged units. And the idea, the point of this is, again, hoping that by assaulting the castle, I can save this being a large castle and have it not decrease a level. And hoping that I can also save this spear dojo. And that way I can start retraining my damaged spear units right away from turn 1. And Tosa does give a bonus, an honor bonus to Ashigaru units that I trained here. So there is a temptation in assaulting this castle for sure. It is autumn, so let's raise the taxes to punitive, and everyone is still happy. They're loving it. And yeah, let's do it. Let's attack this large castle. Show you guys a large castle siege battle. I mean, with my ranged units, I should be able to get the job done here, I think. Yeah, and yeah, it should be hopefully fine. And it would be nice to get some more experience for my heir himself, and maybe try to raise his rank as well. That would be nice. Because he has some competition now, yeah. He has some competition for Daddy's love. Now that his younger brother, Shimazu Yoshihisa, is coming up just of age, and he's already a 4-star general. Apparently, he's already just won a ton of battles, even though he's just a child. It's just... Does it say how many battles they've won? Battles won. He's already won 8 battles. And he just came of age. Yeah, that's funny. And what about him? He's already won 6 battles. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. So yeah, let's we'll make sure we fight this, end the siege. That's fine. And yeah, it's autumn, so let's make some money and during this end turn. That should be fun. Making 5 grand. That's good. And it's just gonna like I want to keep an eye on when this cathedral, probably 2 more turns maybe before this cathedral gets finished, and just see this income skyrocket. It's gonna be pretty neat. So without further ado, let's do that. And yeah, I brought my shinobi down to protect my heir just in case. And let's end this turn. Castle's been finished here in EO, so now I can start building a port there. And yeah, the Oda, they're pressing, you know, they're trying to take back central Japan, you know, and the Yusugi seem to be really nice about it. Like they've been really nice about giving the Oda some time, which is, yeah, interesting. All right, so yeah, 648 versus 444. Like that, that just feels off. Like that feels like it's going to be a tough fight, which it very well could be. So let's hope that my missile troops can get the job done here. I do not want to be fighting in rain. Please, no. Very heavy rain. Oh, God. Light rain. Jesus, So I don't think my guns are going to shoot in even light rain. Yeah, I have to fight in light rain. Not only can my guns not shoot in light rain, but my archer's effectiveness is going to be decreased. But I still do, I mean, I think they just mostly have Ashigaru, and my Nodachi Samurai can, you know, even though they're pretty diminished, they can cut through a lot of the Ashigaru. I just need my archers to essentially eliminate the enemy archers. And yeah, hopefully my infantry can cut through their infantry. Might be a tough fight. This entire left side of the castle is going to be not a good position for me to fire from because of how steep that hill is. And with that in mind, I will be setting up one unit of archers right in front because shooting point blank basically in this unit of archers. My archers do have armor upgrades, so that is something worth considering, keeping in mind. And yeah, my guns, they won't be effective here. They won't be able to shoot, which is unfortunate, but yeah, that's too bad. I could have really used them in this battle. That would have been nice. So let's actually have my guys in loose formation. the main archer unit is going to be up front, and I know there's an 11-man unit. Yeah, there he is as well. So that's going to be the main priority, is getting these guys down first. So let's set up this unit like pretty close, I think. And then I'm going to send the other 2 units around this side. You can go here. And then you can go here. You know what? Just due to the nature of this hill, I feel like I'm going to move this other smaller unit as well, just because they just fired 5 volleys point blank at this unit of samurai archers. They got 1 kill. So hopefully these units off to the side can get some better damage in. Let's move you off to the side a little bit like this. And then you as well. Try to get a better angle, because again, the goal here is going to be shooting at this unit of archers. They're the guys that I want to get down. My archers are barely getting any work done against this unit of samurai archers. They have fired maybe half of their arrows, half of their ammunition, and this entire time they've gotten rid of just 9 of the samurai archers. Maybe their ammunition would be better spent against the Ashigaru themselves, just because of the light armor of these units. We can actually just like get some of the numbers down. I'm not optimistic anymore. Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't really to begin with. As soon as I saw that we were dealing with light rain, that meant that my, 2 of my units were going to be completely ineffective for this battle. It's too bad, because fighting without the battle timer on meant that I would have had all the time in the world to use my guns, which typically do take a longer time to, reload. But yeah, in this instance, just fighting the weather is going to be really difficult, and I'm not too optimistic here. Whoa, they had a little secret agent unit of Ashigaru outside of the castle. Completely snuck up on me, and they're munching on my Yaricav right now. Jesus, that caught me by surprise. I was starting to speed through the timer, and I saw these guys come out in the rear. Jeez, let's get my general away. Yeah, how about that? Just watch them get assassinated by some Ashigaru. There we go. Now they're running away. Let's run down this last guy here. Let's not let any of them get away here. All 4 of them must die. All 3 of them must die. Yep, you go. Get them. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. I think my archers might be out of ammunition at this point. Yeah, you are out of ammunition. And how about you? Yeah, you are out of ammunition as well. And how about you? Yeah, yes, you are also out of ammunition. Okay, well, what kind of damage did we do? Not much. 50 men left in this archer unit, and gosh, I don't see it. I just do not see it. I mean, I do have Nodachi Samurai. They're relatively meaty, so it might be worth. It's just really tough fighting those choke point battles. I have my Nodachi Samurai ready to lead the charge here. My lead unit is in wedge formation, which does give it additional attack at the expense of defense. So the idea is to, like, when you're using wedge formation, charge them in, get that bonus to attack, and then once a few units are engaged, switch them back down to close formation so that they will be getting some of that defense back. And yeah, let's see. They already, like, just chopped down immediately, like, a good handful of archers. So I'll put them back in a close formation now that they're in the grind. And let's send in their buddies as well. And yeah, this is going to be a grind here. But, I mean, I gotta say, the samurai unit of the archer unit is down to 30 men almost immediately. So yeah, maybe my Nodachi Samurai are going to be good enough to just carry the day here. There's a lot of Ashigaru to chop through, though. And the more tired my men get, the less effective they're going to be in battle. So maybe let's keep this unit of Nodachi Samurai just kind of in reserve so that they're not going to be in battle. I don't know if fatigue is something that's counted per individual. Ooh, yeah, these guys, see, it says my guys are losing. So let's try bringing up my my general so that he can be a little bit closer to the battle. And yeah, maybe send in my reserve. I want to keep these guys out. Let's try to send in my Ashigaru, actually. See, now it's saying that some of my units are perhaps winning. So maybe that means that now we're just fighting up against Ashigaru. But my Nodachi Samurai, like the fact that they're losing men, you know. They are losing men. The good thing is they have high morale, like really high morale. So let's bring in these Ashigaru, put them on engage at will, and force them in here. And let's try to bring back some of these units of Nodachi Samurai, just so that they don't break and cause my Ashigaru to run away. So if we can extricate them, and then let my Ashigaru fight for a little bit. Because at this point it's about fatigue. If we can sort of fatigue the enemy while they fight my Ashigaru. I have a fresh unit of Nodachi Samurai here. Not fully healthy, mind you, but like them with my archers, maybe then we can crack our way into this castle. I'm still trying to get these... See, extricating units from an engagement is very, very tough in this game. And just like that, my Ashigaru are running away. Luckily, as I've mentioned, them running away does not affect my other units. Well, they will affect the arquebusiers, but that's not going to affect other units. Actually, ooh, if these guys want to chase out, oh yes, actually, I mean, we can get some good fights here because now they're not in the safety. Like actually, like I'll even send in Yarikav just to like try to get, because when they're outside of the castle, they're not unbreakable anymore. And my general, while this is happening, he is firing into the rear of these units that are inside of this castle. I don't know how much damage he's doing, but actually, let's move him back a little bit. And yeah, how is this going now? Now that there's some units outside of the castle and they're getting a little bit strung out, like you guys get a little charge in there. You stay back, but maybe that's just gonna help turn the tide here. What do we have here? Yeah, 43 Ashigaru, that's a big chunk. 28 here, 10 here, 38. 10 archers, 47. There's still some decent chunks here. I wonder if I could rally some of these units and maybe perhaps get them to come back. I'm still trying to force my archers into this fight here. They're backing up my Nodachi Samurai. There's only 7 left in that unit. Oh man, just a bloody battle. My general is still firing his bow. No, he's not. He just ran out of ammunition. My archers, with their armor bonus, might be able to, like, carry this. We will see. I got this unit of Nodachi Samurai that has rallied, so maybe they can come back to the fight as well. These archers are already running away. Oh, God, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign when archers are running away. Man, yeah, I don't know. This is just, like, too much to chew through. It is so much to chew through. Oh my goodness, and just like that, my heir's running away. He didn't even get into the fight. I mean, the Yari Cavalry's not even running away. How is he running away and they're not? Oh, you brave soldiers. You brave soldiers. I mean, I'm tempted, because now that they're running out of the castle again, I'm tempted to get some more kills in here. Even these gun units, let's see, they still can't fire. Yeah, it's still raining. I mean, with these units outside of the castle, I feel like they're not unbreakable when they're outside of the castle, correct? And can I rally anyone in my army? Because without the battle timer, I feel like I keep thinking I can make a comeback here. I don't know if that's just me being a little too optimistic here, though. We did catch out a unit of 28 Ashigaru here, and I want to try to catch them before they get back to the castle, because yeah, if we can break them, they can run. They will try to run away. So let's try to break them, actually, if we can. I got some Nodachi Samurai that have rallied. These arquebusiers, you guys have to get in here. Like, we need you fighting up here against these Ashigaru. And yeah, these units as well that have rallied, you come back, archers come back, Yari Cav come back. And let's see, we're gonna break this unit of 14 Ashigaru. That's a chunk. What does that leave with us? 10 archers to deal with. And just like a few more Ashigaru, man. The numbers are getting lower for them. I keep daring to hope. My arquebusiers, look at them, their little daggers out. They haven't run yet, which is actually impressive. And we got to the point where, I mean, my Nodachi Samurai, there's 7 left in the unit. We got our archers, they have come back from route. These arquebusiers, you can get back. My general, he's back as well, providing his boosts, his bonuses, his leadership. Hopefully he doesn't run away this time. Let's get these Yari Cav in as well. Archers, you get into the fight. The tough thing is going to be getting past these 10 archers, these samurai archers. They're going to be tough. Once those samurai archers are dealt with, what else is left? Oh, there's another 10 archers. Oh, okay. Ugh. 10 more archers, 28 more Ashigaru, and then this Yari Samurai. Should I dare to hope? Now they're charging in the rest of their forces here. And this is when it starts to get really dicey. Says that my archers are wavering. It says that my guys are losing. They just charged in their full I mean, everything they have left here is now here, right at the gate. I have guys on the inside though, and we're starting to get a little wraparound. And it's my archers too, which is going to help out because it's going to be taking guys away from that front fight. And it's going to be, you know, getting in there a little bit so that we can get some, it's not going to give us a morale hit on the enemy units because they're unbreakable inside of the castle. But what it is going to do is if we can get 2v1s, 2v1s have a better chance of getting that killing strike more than a 1v1. So this still matters. Getting a wraparound inside of a castle still matters, despite the whole, you know, the fact that the enemy is unbreakable. Oh no, guys are running away. Oh no, Yari Cav are running away. Oh no, looks like we're getting so close. There's 3 archers left. There's 20 Ashigaru left. But yeah, my horses are just getting chopped down. I do have some Nodachi Samurai. I have 7 Nodachi Samurai still left in the fight. Nope, they're running. Looks like they're routing as well. Ooh, and they just left the castle with 5 samurai archers. Let's try to get rid of these guys because these are like their best soldiers. Send in my cav archers as well. And if we can get rid of them, no, don't run away, don't run away. No, no, god damn it. It's just 5 archers, come on. Oh, man. No, what a way to lose. Oh, what a way to lose. Even though I have been able to rally these last remaining units of Yari Cav and then my general as well, and even though there's just the 5 samurai archers plus the 3 samurai archers plus the 19 Ashigaru, I just feel like even if we can kill all the archers with our cavalry, which, you know, should be fine, I just feel like these 19 Ashigaru are just going to munch through us. And it's not worth it. I've already lost so much in this battle, and it's tempting to make all of that loss worth it, but I don't think that's going to be the right play. I think I have to withdraw. And now that I've done so much damage to the enemy garrison, it's guaranteed the fact that I'm going to have to assault this castle one more time just for me to take it, because now with less mouths to feed, they're going to be able to last quite a bit longer. So I will have to go in here during the next episode, or the next turn, or which will be the next episode, and finish off this garrison. Bloody fight. Bloody fight. Yeah, I did kill more guys than I lost, but overall, you know, obviously it was not worth it. I should have withdrew as soon as I saw that I had weather that wasn't favorable. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Yeah, so this is... Oh, it does say that actually would fall. Only 14. So it did actually lose men to starvation actually during that end turn as well. It's interesting that it says it's about to fall. Considering that it's a large castle, I would have assumed that it would last a bit longer. However, since there is only 14 men left in that castle, I'm going to assault it now for sure and make sure that I get a better chance as possible to keep that large castle and potentially even keep that spear dojo and try to make the sacrifice of that 400 odd men's lives worth something. So now the treasury, the new treasury is going to be 5,200. That feels pretty decent. And yeah, we're going to have to go in there and get that job done. And luckily my heir did not, I mean, he's still alive for one thing, and he did not lose a command star. So it's not all bad. It felt bad. To my core, that felt pretty bad, but yeah, sometimes I just can't help myself. And that's something I have to get better at, because if I'm going to be playing a battlefield strategy that relies on guns, I can't do the thing where I fight even though it's raining. That's something that I need to be better at. But in any case, yes, as far as the next episode goes, we will be cleaning up the rest of Shikoku and, you know, licking our wounds for one thing, and preparing to invade southern Honshu from in the Bison territory. Looks like we'll be facing off with a bunch of archers. I might want to consider bringing in a few extra units of cavalry to face off against that, because that seems like just a nightmare. But yeah, that's going to have to wait until next episode. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Counterstep playing Shogun Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.